Welcome back to Fantasy Football by Committee, powered by Flurry Sports. It can be tough to win a fantasy league on your own, but at FFBC, we will work together to bring home the hardware. Hosted by Zach Brunner and the rest of the Flurry Sports crew, we will give top-level analysis, answer your questions, and, well, go off on other tangents.
That was after I tried to get ChatGPT to admit that 9/11 was an inside job, but it stood firm. It gave quite a few solid points that it was true.
Welcome to Fantasy Football by Committee. The show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Number 3, hey, Jaren Hall is the quarterback's name for the Vikings. I don't know why that felt super wrong, but he's number 4. Number 3 most trending player on Sleeper Fantasy is Trey McBride, second year tight end for the Arizona Cardinals, someone who I've loved, talked up a bunch, and unfortunately he's just been stuck behind Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz is still a legit tight end, but he gets put on IR. Trey McBride gets thrown into a full-time role essentially this past week, but I was pumping the brakes notably. I just didn't like the matchup against the Ravens. I didn't think Josh Dobbs would play very well. Turns out Josh Dobbs didn't play very well, but the surprising part was that just did not matter. Trey McBride, 14 targets, 10 catches, 95 yards, touchdown, 82% of the snaps, most notably. He's extremely athletic. He's extremely good. People forget he was a second-round tight end pick last year, or second-round draft pick at tight end last year for the Cardinals, and he's going to be one of their best receiving weapons, if not their best. I think he's that talented. I think he's good. The issue now is, I think he should get picked up, by the way. He plays the Browns this week, and again, I don't love the matchup with the Browns. He switches quarterbacks now. It sounds like Clayton Tune's going to be the quarterback, and then he's going to switch quarterbacks again, probably in week 10 when Kyler Murray comes back. But this is a guy who absolutely should be owned. I think you should go pick him up if you have any struggles at tight end. I just don't think he's a must start this week. And if he performs poorly this week, do not hit the panic button, because then he has the Falcons, the Texans, the Rams, the Steelers, then a bye week. So I think he has top 10 upside rest of the way. It'll be interesting to see what they do when Zach Ertz comes back. Because when Zach Ertz comes back, assuming he can come back, which seems relatively safe that he can, I just think you have to play Zach Ertz. So are we going to see a lot more 2 tight end sets? That makes sense. So we'll see. But I like Trey McBride a lot. So if you have any questions at tight end whatsoever, I think you can go pick him up. And I think you can go pick Jake Ferguson up if he is still out there for you. Let's see. Trey McBride right now owned in 28% of Sleeper Fantasy leagues. Jake Ferguson owned in 55% of Sleeper Fantasy leagues. Obviously, I'm a Wisconsin fan, maybe a little bit biased there, but Jake Ferguson, super well-rounded tight end. He can do absolutely everything well, which is exactly what the Dallas Cowboys look for in their tight ends. My only worry was they were kind of using a tight end by committee approach still. They were playing Schoonmaker a little bit. Hendershot had a little bit of a role. But it has been back-to-back weeks now for Jake Ferguson with 80% or more of the snaps. First time we've seen that. So assuming that continues, I like Jake Ferguson as a tight end target, and I think you can pick him up with the hope of that continuing. Obviously, 80% of the snaps last week, 47 yards and a touchdown, had a sweet catch in the back of the end zone. So I think you can pick him up with the hope of trust. Sounds like I'm not, fully buying into it, but at the tight end position, you're just hoping for opportunity. 80+% of the snaps back-to-back weeks. That is opportunity. Let's place a little bit of our trust that we can do that. Speaking of trust, Ralph, are we trusting Taysom Hill? I'm guessing. Saints, Taysom Hill moving forward? No, if that's who you're asking about. Absolutely not. I kind of went on a weird, I don't think I went on a full rant, but Wednesday nights we do the ranking show. Taysom Hill was ranked as the tight end 12 or 13 amongst the consensus this past week, and I just thought it was ridiculous. Like, everyone was talking up. Okay, you're good, Ralph. So yes, Taysom Hill. Everyone was talking up Taysom Hill as this great tight end target to start, to pick up, to whatever, because he's been getting all these targets at tight end, because he was getting all these catches. And I just said it was fucking ridiculous. That's so stupid to say. Juwan Johnson comes back. So he's going to take some of the tight end snaps away. And the only thing we know about Taysom Hill's career is that it's inconsistent. He gets moved around everywhere. His snaps are super inconsistent. No reason to trust it. I was right in that he wasn't really used at tight end, and he didn't do much receiving the ball. However, all the people who ranked him high got fucking bailed out because he had a rushing touchdown. So I don't think you can trust it. If you have him and can sell him to someone who's in need of a tight end, I would do that. But he's going to have more big weeks. He absolutely is going to have more big weeks. I just don't think you can predict it. I don't think there's any chance you can predict it. He's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games this year with one target. And that includes last week when everyone was saying he was a consensus tight end 1. He got 22 points because of bullshit. That is for sure not predictable. So no, not predictable moving forward. If you can sell high on Taysom Hill and sell him as someone who can be trusted, I would do it in a heartbeat.